Alex Wagner, you'd like to come forward, please? You also have 5 minutes, Alex, okay?
Thanks for having me, Chair. As the member for Bowbrook and Bicton Heath, this is an issue over which I've had countless conversations with residents, the Churncott Roundabout and Shepherd's Lane being at the boundary of my division. Even 30 or 40 years from inception and 5 or 6 years from when our now former council leader, Peter Nutting, decided to push this project again, it seems clear to me that this scheme and this particular application pose more questions than answers. These are questions about our environment, about value for money, and about democracy in this county. And I speak about democracy because, as we've all been reminded a lot recently, Shrewsbury Town Council and the vast majority of councillors elected by the people of Shrewsbury haven't been supportive of the administration policy of ploughing ahead with this road at all costs. All cost is, of course, what we've ended up with. A blank cheque for an amount we don't yet know. Taxpayers in Shropshire and beyond have good reason to worry about this attitude. The leader of the council and our local MP have previously claimed that a silent majority support this project. Speaking as someone who can make a reasonable claim to having knocked more or as many doors in Shrewsbury as anyone in this room over the past few years, that majority seems incredibly silent. A cynic might say that's because it isn't there. This is an even greater issue when you consider that we don't sit here as members of the old Shrewsbury and Atcham borough, but of Shropshire. What do residents of Market Drayton and St Martin's get from this scheme? Out in Worfield and Alverley? What about residents in Clibbury Mortimer, Ludlow, in the Clun Valley, up at Pipegate and Ireland's Cross? The answer is very little. It's their council too, and they have a right to ask why so much time and money has been spent on this single project. But moving on to the specific merits and demerits of this scheme, the obvious point, which I'm sure other councillors have been at pains to make, is still the response of the Environment Agency. Shelton Water Tower is the other boundary of my division. Every time I walk, cycle or drive past it, I'm reminded of this. Because even if these plans are approved today, enormous questions remain about the impact that this scheme will have on the water resources aquifer from which Severn Trent draw their water supplies for Shrewsbury. The Cabinet Member for Highways has said that the Council continues to feel confident that these concerns can be addressed. A question I have is pretty simple. Why? What basis is there for this confidence? I haven't seen any evidence. None of the residents I represent have seen any evidence. So why should I, why should they, why should the Planning Committee take that at its word? I've seen zero evidence today that the fundamental matter of our town's drinking water has been put to bed or resolved. Then there's the matter of whether or not the North West Road will even do what it claims to, reduce traffic. Gaynes Park Way, in my division, will see an increase in traffic, even in the council's own modelling. Many parts of Coton Hill, like Berwick Road, the same, Halscott Lane, St Michael's Street, the list goes on. Similarly, though I think reducing town centre through traffic is an entirely noble aim and something we should seek to do, English Bridge will see an increase in cars. And more to the point, a cafe can't put tables and chairs out on a town centre street because it's got 25% less traffic. We don't really increase the pedestrian space available to people in Shrewsbury, to tourists, to visitors, to people across the county who come to our county town by going ahead with this. And of course, those are just the areas of modelling. As has been commented on earlier, we've no actual real modelling or indication of the impact, good, bad or otherwise, on our countryside. I really feel that there are too many issues, too many inconsistencies, and too many unanswered questions that arise from this application to support it. So I'm urging the committee to reject this today. If it does pass, I sincerely hope that my fears are wrong, and I hope we all understand the weight on our shoulders, given that people in this county will be owed an explanation if this doesn't go the way that the administration thinks it will.